Yeah, so this is supposed to be Bring Me That Shawarma. Again, it's about this guy who is basically this food delivery person, and they have to end up going into like the weird part of town, and then you meet some like characters along the way. There's supposed to be like some comedy, some horror aspects to it, but overall it's a visual novel, so I'm gonna be reading a lot. So if I trip over my words, don't hold it against me. I'm just, I'm, I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot, but let's get into it. Oh, finally, the first order after 4 grueling hours. Carrier app. Dry pizza. This is in like, yeah, I don't know. If I talk, stop. If I stop. If I, my brain, it's broken. My brain, it's broken. Pizza. That's the only thing I understood. But my time is over soon. I'd much rather just sit till the end. Unfortunately for me, I have to go somewhere for an order. What's wrong with this life? Let's actually make this louder. Ooh, our main character's kinda hot. What? I've been working properly for a year and always doing my best, but in the end, no orders, no money, and clients complain all the time. What's the point of this career rating if there aren't many orders anyway? Flexible work schedule, high income bonuses, and discounts in restaurants? Sounds like a dream job. Bullshit. I don't even have money for rent. And the problems with clients are more absurd after the other. The navigator can't find the right house, or the customer cancels the order when I'm already halfway there. People act like they don't want their food at all. Recently, I made a delivery to an upscale neighborhood. At the entrance, I met the concierge, but she didn't want to let me in. I immediately called the customer and he flatly refused to come and get the food himself. Our company support service was no help to me either. From the beginning, I didn't like the concierge. She looked like she'd been a patient in the nut house whom was released yesterday. Not to mention her eyes were sly, like the damn bald dude who put deal in my shawarma once. She had clearly gathered all the wisdom in this life, rolled a joint out of it, and smoked cheekily in the face of anyone who had the audacity to cross her path. I couldn't and didn't want to trust her, but I had no choice. I couldn't think of anything better than to bribe and ask her to deliver the food ordered to the customer. This sounds like a movie I watched. This sounds very familiar somehow. Of course, she kept both the money and food, so I got fined. But in this case, the customer's behavior and complaint can still somehow be understandable. Once the restaurant forgot to put napkins in the bag, and so the customer complained to support that I had stolen them. Genius. There's nothing more to say. The jerk-off could have checked the receipt and asked me, since there are always a couple of tissues in my pocket. As you have already understood, the courier is always to blame. Of course, the strongest foundations of success are built from the stones thrown at you, but my nerves seem to give up before they are built. This time, I was lucky and everything went without incident, but in the end, I'm still not particularly happy about it. It feels like I'm earning less and less every day. What's next? Will they stop giving me shifts? I think it's time to consider changing jobs. As a last resort, I could try to get a position at the newly opened vape shop. 19 minutes till the end of my shift. I might as well start walking slowly towards home. What's this? An order of 20 shawarma and one as a gift? One as a gift? That's a total of 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21 is my lucky number. The stars have aligned. This is a clear sign, a sign that it's too early to leave this job. After accepting the order, I went to the shawarma restaurant to pick up the food. Rot Bar. Typical Oleg? I finally arrived. Rot Bar. Typical Oleg. How is the large shawarma order coming along? Half of it is already done. The rest will take another 15 minutes. The order is pretty big, so no wonder it's not ready yet. Might as well order a coffee and talk to the cashier. I've always wondered why the sign changed to grill. Why the sign changed to grill to rot. It's a long story. It's not like I'm in a hurry. Fine, then listen. There once was a businessman named Oleg. He didn't care what he invested his dough in as long as Oleg was in the name. That's how this place came to be. At first, everything was fine, but over time, the management began to save on ingredients and the quality of shawarma deteriorated. An act of rebellion was staged by the school children, who constantly kept correcting the word grill to rot on the sign. The phrase, "I loved you," Oleg has become a local meme. So the quality of shawarma here is so-so? Yep, but I didn't tell you that. But who would want to order so much shawarma from so far away? Surely there are better shawarma restaurants in that area. What kind of address is this? I've never been there before. Where exactly did the order come from? Nizhny Poduk Street. Pozuk? Nizhny Poduk Street. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Instead of the cashier's voice, I heard a different one from somewhere behind me. When I turned around, I couldn't even immediately see the person who was talking to me. "Hey kid, it's a very dangerous neighborhood. You should stay out of it." That's a good old man voice, isn't it? Granddad. What's wrong there? "Real evil has taken up residence there." What do you mean? "Reptiloids had their eyes on this place a long time ago. I know since I lived nearby. It all started with strange animal behavior and those damn magnetic storms. The sun was in its every 11 years active phase, and those damn aliens heard every word I said." But how are those things related? Sounds like a smoker. I mean, yeah. I mean, should he not? Too many cigarettes? I don't know how to make him sound. He looks like he would be like, you know, one of those like from the detective movies. You know, they have a glass of whiskey in one hand and a cigar in the other. "You don't know such simple things, little kid, so listen here. On days like this, when you say something, the solar wind picks up your words and converts them into vibration of torsion fields. The alien tentacles pick up these vibrations." But you said they were reptiloids. Where do they get their tentacles? And in general, torsional fields, torsional or torsin sort. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. So if I'm saying it wrong this entire time, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And in general, torsional fields are complete nonsense. Live longer than you and me, you'll understand that this world's more complicated than running around with orders, young scumbag kid. Don't tell me what to do, Granddad. Yo, he do be smoking. I noticed an ominous glint under his hat. Oh no, it looks like you pissed him off. What makes you think that? If his artificial eye comes out of his socket, it's not good. It is said that in intense arguments, it flies out and can even cause a wound like a bullet. What are you whispering about greens? And where in this world had... Wait. And where is this world headed if young people have a soaked bottom of shawarma instead of brains? I don't understand that sentence, but I'm not gonna question it. Once you see a doggy round dance, you'll know what Granddad was talking about. Look, I graduated. Order for 21 shawarmas ready. Thank you, beautiful, but kind of weird, cashier. You rescued me in time. 21? They're having a party, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Shawarma is very popular with them. It's all they eat. It's like nutrition bars. Listen to me. Drop everything and run away while you're still alive. In my haste, I packed my order into my bag. Dude, why does he sound like a... Why did it make him sound like a smoker weeb? All the shawarma fit in the backpack except for one. What to do? Tap it down a little more? No, it's already full, and if I press down any harder, the shawarma's bottom will burst. My bottom will burst. Since there was no free space in the backpack, I just put the last one in the pocket of my jacket. It wasn't deep, which made the shawarma stick out of it halfway. I hope I don't lose it somewhere along the way. I hurried to the exit while the old man kept talking. The shawarma flopped from my pocket onto the floor, so I stopped to pick it up. Look, you're going to bring an offering right into their clutches. Are you ready to betray the human race? I'm so sick of this dude. Silently pick up the shawarma, show Granddad where the monkeys spend the winter. I'm just gonna silently pick up the shawarma. Don't notice the old man's mistake. It's useless to replant an old tree. Guided by this simple truth, I ignored the old man and just walked away. On the way, I kept thinking about what he had said. Not that those words made an impression on me, but I also noticed that strange things were happening around me as of late. There was a story on TV. I don't really watch it much, but sometimes I turn it on in the background while I'm playing Digger online. There's always some conspiracy nonsense on, and usually I don't even get into what's playing. But that time, the absurdity of the story had caught my attention. There was a report about a girl who had her shawarma stolen right out of her hands by aliens. She was walking in the park one evening, enjoying her meal, when suddenly they, flying overhead, took the shawarma with their light beam. Bullshit. Does anyone really believe what is shown on that channel? But after today, I can guess who does. The story isn't too concerning, but the distorted screams that sometimes come from the alleys at night, I don't even know how to describe them. It's like someone is shouting. More like yelling in different keys. And it gets interrupted. Its fragments are looped, rewound, and distorted. Just like in some game with a lot of bugs. It makes me wonder if our world is just a matrix, but I reassure myself that maybe it's just some wandering DJs having fun. And doubting my own reality goes against my beliefs. But that's not all the weirdness I've noticed. I live on the first floor, and I'm used to having people hanging around under my windows all the time. Whoa! I'm good. Every Tuesday from 4 to 6 in the afternoon, a pensioner at my apartment complex stares through the window. At first it annoyed me, but then I decided to look at the situation as it befits me from a philosophical point of view. After all, what do I care about this harmless old lady? If it doesn't bother me, let her do what she wants. But 2 weeks ago, I noticed something strange. She always stood practically motionless, but this time her stillness was too unnatural. There was something strange, even frightening about her appearance. I still saw the same pensioner in front of me, but all my senses were screaming that something was wrong. Exhausted by uncertainty, I went outside and approached her. Everything in me froze with shock when I was close enough to see properly. I discovered that a cardboard cutout was standing instead of a real person. What the hell is going on? Who did this? Why? These questions worry me to this day. But the next week, the original pensioner returned, and I could breathe a sigh of relief. A cardboard cutout? He lives in a simulation. But wait till you hear this plot twist right after this cup of water. After her return, pigeons began to sit in strange circles, like the witch rings that some mushrooms form. And some of the neighbors suddenly turned white. Soon they were all taken away by the riot police, both pigeons and neighbors. It's very strange, isn't it? Another incident happened on the train while I was going to another city for a meeting of Digger Online fans. There I had a strange dream that seemed more of a reality. I dreamt that I was going to the dining car to get something to eat in the middle of the night. I was separated from it by a single carriage in which an hour ago many people were sitting. But now it was completely empty, although there were no stops to unload them. It puzzled me, but I was more glad that other people's feet weren't sticking out in the aisle. But when I reached the dining car, the situation took a surreal turn. Instead of people, creatures of an unknown species resembling multicolored octopuses sat everywhere. Their tentacles wriggled, making clicking and crackling noises. It was as though they were communicating. They communicated exactly until they noticed me. They froze momentarily, and their eyes with vertical pupils stared at me. Many, many eyes. My mind became clouded, and I don't remember how the dream ended. I woke up and didn't sleep a wink for the rest of the way, let alone left my seat. And the moon? It's been brighter than usual. What if Granddad is right? What if there really is something sinister going on in the city? Reptiloids, alien, it's hard to believe such things, but I can't ignore all the strange occurrences around me. What should I do? A shawarma fell out of my pocket. Just as I picked it up, I suddenly noticed stray dogs. They were looking right at me, or rather, at the shawarma. Damn it. I jump on my bike and sprint forward while the dogs rush after me. Despite the fact that I was pedaling as hard as I could, the cute yet scary looking mutts didn't think to lag behind. I could keep going at this speed for a long time, but there's a problem. The shawarma kept falling out. The hungry dogs began to close the gap, and one of them kept trying to catch the shawarma in its salivating jaw. Get off me! I was ready to fight to the end. But I was far from being superhuman, and after a while my legs were ready to fall off. It seemed like nothing could save me, when suddenly a flock of pigeons flew at the dogs! Fight. There were so many pigeons that the flea-ridden canines had to retreat. What? I didn't tempt fate to shake each pigeon's shriveled little leg in thanks, and instead hurried out of here. What the hell was that? Why did the pigeons suddenly attack the dogs? Maybe they just got tired of the loud barking that echoed through the neighborhood? Who the hell knows? Shit, but what about the shawarma? Ooh, still here. Only by some miracle it didn't fall in my pocket again. The chase took too much energy. It would be nice to have something to eat. Don't do that. No, I can't. It's part of the customer's order. Here's the house I needed to deliver the food to. Felt like it took forever to get here. Small victories add color to life, and the feeling of imminent success even made me forget about the pain in my legs for a while. The place is terrible. Even with the navigator, it's quite difficult to find it. The yard is a real garbage dump, and not to mention the building looks like it's about to collapse. Of course, the shawarma fell out of my pocket again. God, this place makes me feel uncomfortable. In tense moments, it usually helps me to chat with others. I'm actually quite an outgoing person. You can get a lot of interesting ideas from talking to people, and extraordinary people have always inspired me. Even with that granddad, we could have had an interesting dialogue if I had more time and he had less impertinence. So now I decided to look around for someone to talk to, if there are any people here, of course. Oh, there's a pretty girl out for a smoke. At least I have something around here. Or, at least something around here is normal. I think I'll talk to her while I have time. Hey. Hi. Don't many people live here? It's only at first glance. Huh. Maybe. Maybe. I got a very large order for shawarma. You need to get this to apartment 17, don't you? Yes. You're out of luck. Why is that? I've been watching this gang for months now, and I can say with absolute certainty that something is wrong with them. Ever since they settled here, pigeons have been flying around this place. Some white substance is constantly spilled near the door, and then there are some unearthly mantras heard from the toilets every night. I wake up every now and then because of strange yelling. And that's not all. It would take more than an hour to tell you about all the strange things that happen here. I see. It all sounds scary, and those weird yells. On the other hand, maybe she's exaggerating and she just has noisy neighbors that she's sick of. Maybe that's why she makes them out to be crazy. You may not believe me, but if you go there, I can't guarantee you'll make it out alive. A job is a job, and I have to do it. I don't believe what I'm saying anymore. Then come on in. I'm just about done. The girl threw out her finished cigarette, and we went into the building together. I live on the 4th floor, and you have to go to the 5th. Suddenly, the light in the stairwell went out. How often does that happen here? Not often, but usually after the obscurity of the neighbors have reached an extraordinary level. Still sure you want to go there? We reached the 4th floor. The girl stopped and looked at me expectantly. Wow, what if all these rumors are true? Granddad's words, the stranger's stories, and all the things I saw with my own eyes. What if I really do fall into some creepy trap? Wouldn't it be better to leave before it's all too late? We're gonna complete the order. I don't think trusting her is a good idea. What she said sounded more like the ravings of a crazy person. Besides, I absolutely have to complete this order. After all, it could prove fateful. Not to mention the big fine if I don't do it. Job is a job. I didn't come all this way for nothing. As you wish. The stranger disappeared behind the door, and I went up to the next floor. I reached the right apartment. Well, the story is finally coming to a close. The door was opened by a girl. I couldn't help but notice what was going on behind her. People were looking out from around the corners with interest, coming closer, looking at me with a kind of predatory curiosity. How many of them are there? Here's your order. She gave me a very strange look and then yelled, Guys, dinner's here. Someone's strong hand grabbed me and pulled me inside. The door slammed shut. Only a lonely, wrinkled shawarma was left lying on the doorstep. Dead end. Oh, I died! we are going to do the same thing, but I'm gonna do the second run, and instead of going up to the fifth floor, I'm gonna go with the stranger. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing, but I'm just gonna follow the stranger this time. I'm not gonna eat the shawarma, and I'm gonna go with the stranger. You're right, something bad is going on here. I'm going to get out of here while I still have my legs. I turn around to leave, but the slam of the entryway door has made me freeze in place. There were 2 pairs of footsteps on the stairs. The unknown persons were talking, and the only word I could make out was shawarma. Damn, you're too late. It's one of their gang. What do I do? You can hide at my place. Hurry up. We went into the apartment, and the girl immediately closed the door, securing each lock one by one. Lena. Roman. Circumstances are strange, but nice to meet you. Huh, the same. We took off our shoes, threw off our jackets, and went into the kitchen. Lena was hospitable and immediately made us tea. How long do we have to sit here? There was a noise coming from above, as if a crowd of people were dancing right over our heads. Along with the stomping, there were chants that grew quieter and then turned into an outright yell. Now I understood what the girl was talking about. Till morning, most likely. But if things go wrong with the supply of shawarma, we could be here for a long time. I laughed. Despite everything, I felt safe now. So, tell me about yourself. Where to start? I studied to be a philosopher, then I went to work as a courier. It may not sound very cool, but it was only for a while. Oh, I even started writing a book. So far, it's mostly notes on my phone, but still. While I was talking, I looked around. The kitchen was quite cozy, despite the slight clutter. There was a pizza box next to the sink, and there were tea bags and a few candles scattered on the table. Among the flower pots on the windowsill, there were some packages of pills, a roll of rope, a whip, a gag. What the? The girl I was talking to realized that it was her turn to tell me about herself. Strange rumors in this building are not just about my neighbors. She smiled slyly, and I felt uncomfortable. What a mess I'm in. I don't know what's worse, getting caught by the cultists or a crazy BDSM fan. Uh-oh. There was a heaviness all over my body. I tried to get up, but my arms and legs wouldn't listen to me anymore. I looked at my cup. Now I realized what a strange taste the tea had. Somewhere in the hallway, the shawarma from my jacket laid pathetically. Damn, how dizzy. I watched helplessly as Lena took off my shirt and began to tie my body with rope. She kept saying something, but I wasn't listening anymore. Dude, she's bad too? The dancing and the mantras of the neighbors, meanwhile, had reached their peak. They're totally freaking out in there. Felt like the ceiling was about to collapse on our heads. They're really going wild today. Even the walls are wobbly. This was really happening. The whole house was groaning and shaking, the pipes howling like a pack of dogs chasing shawarma. Great, I'm double trapped, and all I can do is watch. What's that? Is there really some kind of white liquid coming out of the pipes? Judging by the sounds, the neighbors began to panic. Lena stopped tying me up and turned her attention to the increasing flood. Crap, they pumped that shit all over the place? The pipes finally burst, white substance gushing out of all the cracks and crevices that rapidly covered the walls. The wild thundering sound made my ears prick up. Before the building collapsed, I managed to look out the window. Oops. The huge yellow moon was shining in the ominous red sky. What is that? The end? What? Wait, huh? I'm gonna eat it. I looked at the shawarma. Even though it was all crumpled and the sauce was leaking in place, I still had a desire to eat it. I have no choice. After all, there's 20 more left. When the customer notices it's missing, I'll be far away. I unpacked the shawarma and took a bite. Why is there a bird in my shawarma? Instead of the usual stuffing, something dark and incomprehensible was looking at me from the inside. It was staring, 2 orange eyes on a small blue head. What the hell? Instead of shawarma, I had a pigeon wrapped in pita bread. The bird broke free and flew away as the pita fell to the ground. My whole life and universe flew before my eyes, along with that pigeon. The words of the old lunatic from the bar began to echo in my head. How could I be so blind? After that, there was no doubt. I had to escape. It doesn't matter where, just as long as it's far away from here to Siberia. Yo, what's up, spatula? Hello, wait, I gotta get my food. In half an hour, I was already at the border of Emaura. The road ahead was not an easy one. The shawarmas in my bag should last me a long time, and by the time it's over, I'll be safe. The first thing I'll need is that granddad's number. He may be my only ally in this crazy world. What? So the only ending right now is to give the granddad a show granddad where the monkeys spend the winter. The old man is too annoying with his buzzing about the conspiracy theories, but responding rudely to him was a bad decision. Roman is now one of the ingredients for shawarma in this bar. Bruh. Dude, seriously? So the only good ending is to eat the shawarma and run away. It seems like. I think that's it. I think that's it for that game. That was nice. That was what? That was like 30 minutes? That was a 30-minute game. That was really short. And I think I got all the endings. Not bad. Not bad at all. That was really cool. I like that. Not as scary as I thought it would be, but still cool.